If you think China's construction boom has peaked, you're dead wrong. In 2025, China is finishing mega projects so ambitious they sound like science fiction. Canals carved through mountains, trains crossing beneath rivers, and a structure that literally steals half the sun's light. We're talking about infrastructure that doesn't just connect cities, it rewrites the rules of what's physically possible. Today, we're revealing the top 5 Chinese mega projects that will blow your mind. Number 5. The Pinglu Canal, China's first major canal in 1,000 years. In Guangxi Province, one of China's most ambitious transport projects is entering its final phase. It's called the Pinglu Canal, and once it's operational in late 2025, it will become the first major canal China has built since the Sui dynasty, over 1,000 years ago. This isn't just a shallow irrigation ditch. This canal is being built to handle 5,000-ton cargo ships with a total budget projected at around $10 billion. Construction officially began in August 2022, and the goal from day one has been clear. Connect the Xizang River system, which flows through resource-rich inland provinces like Guizhou and Yunnan, directly to the Beibu Gulf, which opens into the South China Sea. In practical terms, that means creating a shortcut for cargo that currently has to be hauled hundreds of kilometers by truck or rail to reach a major port. Provinces like Yunnan and Guizhou produce huge amounts of raw materials: coal, bauxite, cement, agricultural exports. But moving that cargo to ports has always depended on trucks or rail lines, both of which are slower and more expensive than water transport. The Pinglu Canal is meant to fix that by turning rivers into a cheaper, high-capacity shipping route. Once operational, it is expected to handle up to 100 million tons of cargo per year. That would make it one of the highest-capacity inland waterways in the country and a major asset for moving bulk goods like coal, grain, and construction materials from inland factories to international markets. Technically, it's one of the most complex civil engineering projects underway in China. The route crosses multiple elevation zones, which is why engineers are building 3 large ship locks to raise and lower vessels. These locks aren't just big, they're among the largest in the world in terms of lift height and width. What makes it even more unusual is how it's being built. Unlike many mega projects dominated by tunnel boring machines and prefabricated steel, the Pinglu Canal has relied heavily on manual labor. Tens of thousands of workers have been digging, dredging, and moving earth day and night in one of the largest earth-moving efforts currently happening anywhere in the world. The scale of the construction effort is massive. At its peak, more than 35,000 workers were on site. Excavation has moved over 340 million cubic meters of earth and rock, and dozens of bridges, culverts, and control systems are being built in parallel. Right now, the structural work is over 80% complete. If everything stays on schedule, the Pinglu Canal will begin full operations by the end of this year, opening a new artery for China's inland economy and reducing dependence on traditional coastal choke points. Number 4. Shenzhen-Jiangmen Railway, tunneling under the Pearl River. If you've ever looked at a map of southern China, you might have noticed something strange. 2 of the region's major cities, Shenzhen and Jiangmen, are barely 100 kilometers apart. But there's no direct high-speed rail line, and crossing between them has always been slower than it should be. Now, China is fixing that, not with a bridge, but by tunneling underneath the Pearl River estuary. The Shenzhen-Jiangmen high-speed railway is one of the most complex short-distance rail projects China has taken on. It's only about 116 kilometers long, but the reason it's so hard is because it cuts directly under the Pearl River estuary, one of the busiest and deepest waterways in the region. Construction began in 2020, and this hasn't been a simple dig. The Pearl River estuary has shifting sediments, high water pressure, and complex geological layers. To manage that, engineers used one of the world's largest slurry shield tunnel boring machines custom-built for this project. At the heart of this line is the Shenzhen Tunnel, a 13-kilometer submarine tunnel buried deep beneath the riverbed. It's one of the longest and widest undersea rail tunnels in China, designed to handle trains running at 350 kilometers per hour. Now, you might ask, why not just route the rail line around the water? That's because that would add hours to the journey. By tunneling straight under, the new connection will cut travel time between Shenzhen and Jiangmen to just 30 minutes, linking 2 fast-growing parts of the Greater Bay Area. But this isn't just about passengers. It's part of a much bigger plan to integrate the Greater Bay Area, a cluster of 11 cities, including Hong Kong, Macau, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen, home to over 86 million people and producing around $2 trillion in annual GDP. The new line will also connect to China's national high-speed rail grid, improving east-west mobility across Guangdong Province. That means faster connections for people and, just as importantly, faster logistics for factories, warehouses, and ports. As of now, tunneling is complete and track laying is over halfway done. What's left is system integration, power, ventilation, safety monitoring, and high-speed signaling. Testing is expected to begin in Q3 this year. The estimated total cost of the project is around $5.6 to $6 billion, making it one of the most expensive high-speed rail projects in Guangdong on a per-kilometer basis, largely due to the underwater segment. I'm doing a $100 Amazon gift card giveaway to celebrate when this channel reaches 1,000 subscribers. No action is required to enter. I'll randomly pick a winner once we hit the milestone. If you want to follow the journey or see the winner announcement, feel free to subscribe. Number 3. Luxi Pumped Storage, the battery made of water. Batteries aren't just for phones and cars. China is finishing one in 2025 that's big enough to stabilize entire cities, and it doesn't look anything like a battery. The Luxi Pumped Storage Power Station is located in Hunan Province, and it's designed to store and release up to 3.6 gigawatts of power. That's more output than the Hoover Dam, not continuously, but in short bursts when it matters most. It's what's known as a pumped hydro plant, and it works like this. When there's extra electricity on the grid, especially from wind or solar, the plant uses that surplus to pump water uphill into a reservoir. Then, when demand spikes, like in the evening or during heat waves, it releases the water downhill through turbines, generating power instantly. Unlike a regular hydroelectric dam, pumped storage doesn't rely on river flow. It's a battery made of water and gravity, with no lithium, no chemicals, and no risk of supply chain disruptions. So why is this such a big deal? It's because China is adding renewable power faster than anyone else. But storing that energy, especially across multiple time zones and remote provinces, is a constant challenge. Projects like Luxi are how they plan to smooth that out. Construction began in mid-2021 with a total investment of around $4.8 billion. It's part of a national push to build flexible backup systems as China moves deeper into wind and solar energy. It is built between two artificial reservoirs at different elevations, with underground penstocks connecting them. The vertical drop is over 400 meters, giving it enough force to power all 6 reversible turbines in the lower station. Each one can ramp up from idle to full power in less than 30 seconds. Renewable power generation is intermittent. Solar peaks in the afternoon. Wind can drop off with no warning. Without storage, grids have to fall back on coal or gas when renewables can't meet demand. That's exactly what Luxi is designed to prevent. Once operational, the station will be able to generate 6.6 billion kilowatt-hours per year, enough to meet the annual electricity needs of about 4.5 million households. It also strengthens the central China power grid, giving operators more control over load balancing across several provinces. Number 2. Sichuan-Tibet Railway, crossing the Himalayas. Out of all the mega projects China expects to complete in 2025, this one is easily the most extreme. The Sichuan-Tibet Railway is designed to connect Chengdu, the capital of Sichuan Province, to Lhasa, the capital of Tibet, through more than 1,900 kilometers of high-altitude terrain. The most difficult portion, running from Ya'an to Ningxi, is expected to be completed by late 2025. This section alone covers over 1,000 kilometers, crossing deep valleys, fault zones, and unstable slopes at altitudes that approach 3,000 meters. More than 90% of the route consists of tunnels and bridges. That includes the Yigong Tunnel, which spans over 42 kilometers and passes through unstable rock formations that have collapsed in the past. Engineers have had to reinforce tunnel walls with advanced pressure sensors and install automatic ventilation systems to deal with the altitude. Construction began in November 2020 with an estimated budget of around $44 billion, making it one of the most expensive railway segments China has ever built. Once completed, it will cut travel time between Tibet and the rest of China, turning what used to be a multi-day trip into just 13 hours. That's a huge deal for moving goods, tourists, and emergency supplies. But this isn't just about terrain. The line passes close to Arunachal Pradesh, a region claimed by both China and India. Officially, it ends in Ningxi, which sits less than 40 kilometers from the line of actual control, LAC, the de facto border between the two countries. China refers to this project as a development initiative, but in New Delhi, it's seen differently. Indian defense analysts have flagged the railway as a potential dual-use corridor. That means it's not just for tourists or cargo. It could also be used to move troops, fuel, and equipment quickly through rugged areas that were previously only accessible by winding roads. Once it connects to the already operational Lhasa-Ningxi line, high-speed trains will be able to run from Sichuan deep into eastern Tibet. But the work doesn't end there. The full Chengdu-Lhasa line is expected to be finished by 2030, completing a high-speed rail link across the entire Tibetan plateau. Once complete, it will be one of the highest, most complex, and most geopolitically sensitive railways in the world. Number 1. The Chinese Sky Eye, stealing half the sun's light. In the mountains of Guizhou, a technological marvel quietly gazes at the stars. It is the Chinese Sky Eye, officially known as FAST, 500-meter aperture spherical telescope. This is the world's largest single-dish radio telescope, boasting a 500-meter aperture covering an area equivalent to 30 football fields. Nestled in a natural karst depression in Pingtang, Guizhou, it sits like a mirror of the sky, silently peering deep into the cosmos. But here's the insane part. This structure is so massive, so reflective, that when viewed from space, it appears to steal half the sun's light from the surrounding region. The FAST telescope's sensitivity is 2.5 times that of the now-retired Arecibo Observatory in the United States. It can detect the faintest electromagnetic signals from 13.7 billion light-years away, making it the most sensitive astronomical instrument ever built by humankind. Its applications range from exoplanet searches to dark matter studies, supporting gravitational wave follow-up observations. And it may one day be the first to pick up signals from extraterrestrial civilizations. To ensure that ultra-high sensitivity, engineers implemented an active surface deformation system. 4,450 individual panels can dynamically adjust their angles to track celestial targets. The entire structure is constructed with millimeter-level precision. No bolt is loose, demonstrating engineering control at its very limits. To protect the telescope from interference, the Chinese government relocated over 9,000 residents from surrounding villages, creating a radio-quiet zone spanning 5 kilometers in radius. No cell phones, no Wi-Fi, no electromagnetic noise, just pure silence for the cosmos. The construction itself was an engineering nightmare. Workers had to carve into mountains, create drainage systems to prevent flooding in the karst landscape, and install a cable net structure weighing thousands of tons with precision measured in millimeters. The telescope officially began operations in September 2016, and since then, it has made groundbreaking discoveries, including detecting over 900 new pulsars, more than any other telescope in history. Together, these projects show what state-driven development can look like when the goal isn't just economic growth, but long-term leverage. From Beijing's point of view, 2025 isn't just a deadline, it's a milestone. A year where years of planning finally take physical form. The Pinglu Canal reshaping trade routes, the Shenzhen-Jiangmen Railway tunneling under oceans, Luxi pumped storage, turning water into electricity, the Sichuan-Tibet Railway conquering the Himalayas, and the Chinese Sky Eye reaching into the cosmos. These aren't just construction projects, they're statements of intent. And for the rest of the world, the real question is, what comes next? Whether or not you agree with the strategy, it raises a serious question for everyone else. If China is building like this, what's your country doing? Which of these projects do you think will have the biggest impact? Let us know in the comments below.